Amazon announces earnings. So right at 1 o'clock, what happened? Oops, it tanked. See, right at 4 o'clock Eastern time, when the market closes, you can see it immediately dropped. And it's been kind of up and down. So what happened? Why did it go down? Amazon reports better than expected fourth quarter results, but the revenue guidance was soft. So I didn't flinch. I decided to hold and wait for the jobs employment report to come out tomorrow. The NASDAQ immediately right here is where 4 o'clock was, and all of a sudden it tanked way down here, but it started climbing back up because I don't really think that it was such a bad report. Even though the Amazon is still down. Amazon is still down right now over 3%. So almost all of the big seven, the Magnificent Seven, have failed to produce good numbers. NASDAQ cared for a minute, but there's a lot of other things that drive the NASDAQ. It's not only Amazon. Russell 2000, right at 4 o'clock, it really didn't care about nothing. The small cap sectors, Amazon's quite the opposite of a small cap sector. The S&P cared because it's a large cap company, it's a large cap sector, and you can bet Amazon's large, and it's in the S&P 500. So it had an immediate drop on the news, but then you see it came right back up. So the ones I was going to sell were Direction Semiconductors oftentimes falls with tech funds, but it wasn't really falling so hard. Just kind of climbed up for the day and then just kind of held after the news. So I'm going to wait for the jobs report and see what happens tomorrow. The big one I would be most worried about was this tech fund, and it actually, after 4 o'clock, has gone up on the news because Amazon's not the only one that drives this particular tech fund. I think that's one of the advantages of having an ETF that has multiple companies. Just because one company is tanking in there, and I know that Amazon's in this tech fund, but just because one company's tanking doesn't send this tech down necessarily. So the top 10 holdings are still holding okay. We'll see what happens tomorrow's jobs report.